Family Onadu, we're glad for they are back today with our favorite program, Let's Talk to the Minister. Before we go far, I want on behalf of government and indeed my ministry and my colleagues then they are, we were there together um, for wish everybody around the world, every Muslim, Ramadan Kareem. I get with me in a studio, very important guests then today. I want to let them introduce themselves to owner, then we can start the ball rolling.
Well, being
So,
Sergio Aziz Kamara, the Deputy Minister, Ministry of Technical and Higher Education.
yes.
Well, Mr. Paul Amara, the Chief Executive Officer for the Sierra Leone Students Loan Scheme under the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education.
Okay. Well, I want for welcome owner to this show, to this program. So, family with the follow we, I want for tell una plenty thank you for una spare time for joining we. We realize it, particularly for the Muslim segment, una don't just well if na salon una they una just come on nafla to all the Muslims there around the world who they follow we una thank you Ramadan Kareem and we really value una patronage una the follow we over time we want for ask una and encourage una for share the link um, to as many people as possible, to family, to friends, to loved ones. Then let this debate go on. To the radio station and other bloggers that will carry this, una welcome and una plenty thank you. With the greet una from Osa the talk to una. So let's begin with my guest then, straight to business. Um, Mr. Sergio Aziz Kamara, now you know the Deputy Minister for Technical and Higher Education. I know say before you can you don't get a long stint of experience with various organizations, including the United Nations. Now you don't pick up this new role. Now the new direction manifesto, there was a commitment for separate the Ministry of Education into basic and senior secondary education and tertiary education. I want to let you what's in the mandate because it's not a new outfit with they set up. It starts with His Excellency President Bill in 2018. Not also the first time we get
Indeed.
this. So I want to speak to we about that one day and waiting at the baseline. How was the ministry when you inherited it? Because if we don't know which side will come on, we're not able to know which side for them. If you know which side you buck your foot before you know which side you don't for them. So tell us, what's have been the baseline? What's how you want to meet in at the ministry and what's how they now?
Thank you, Honorable Minister Radoswari. Good evening, Fambulem. I've been there with the blessing of my minister, Professor Alpha Tijanwuri, where we all know say he's a doyen of education in this country. We all know say when President Bill in the campaign in 2018, it make some few commitments them. And one of the major commitments them was to say it go unbundle the Ministry of Education, when have been one whole ministry where they deal with schools them and universities. So President Bill decided to form a new Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. So the Ministry of Technical Education is a brand new ministry from 2018. We get a specific mandate for preside over higher education. We'll say higher education here. We'll talk about post-18 education. So we'll talk about presiding over universities them as a supervisory and regulatory body. And then the technical vocational education and training we get for do with skills-based. We all know, say, prior to now, Sierra Leone be known as the Athens of West Africa, which will be called in 1827. But over time, we lose that space there. So President will be very deliberate for form this ministry and say, I'm going to reform higher education space. Therefore, ensure that the youth them develop skills and capability for that to develop the middle level manpower base. And that comes. So there has to be some policy reform. One of the key policy reform have been for look at the University Act, which have been 2005 University Act. Where in fact that one is in fact now SLPP been take up that act day. Because until that time, now one great university will be getting at this country, will not be the University of Sierra Leone. Within constituent colleges, then will not be Jala, will become university in 2005. Then the College of Medicine will come in 1988. and then the Institute of Public Administration. So with the University Act now, what in that do? Now for expand the university space. Expand the university space in the sense that the polytechnics them will be there, like Miltimagai Polytechnic, it transform them into a technical university. The Eastern Polytechnic also, it transformed them into the Eastern Technical University. That means in the East, you get a university where they cover them. In the West, rural and urban, you get a new university where the Mitamagai Technical University. But it not only tap there, we also get the Kono University of Science and Technology, because what drives a country really is science and technology. And Kono, this place we've been known, they produce diamond from 1930, hugely exploited, and disadvantaged. They say, no, I go create universities there. So that the university I bring into force, 3 new universities there. But not stop there also. He say, look, I'm going to depoliticize university education. So he say, look, I dey pull hand by university business as chancellor. I dey look for Sierra Leoneans, then we get the moral rectitude, we get business acumen, we go able drive university reform and ensure Sierra Leone restore in position of the world, when it comes to education. So we appoint chancellors, then these are civilians, we get academic background, business background, entrepreneurship, but then get high integrity. So all the universities, they get new chancellors. We not stop there also, we get for work on reform for ensure the universities, they also get new principals. So within 4 years, President Bio bring 3 more universities and make them 6. But this really was to complement the free quality school education we introduced in anticipation of vision, say, we develop human capital development. Noting that as you introduce FQSE, free quality school education, you're going to have more people advancing to university wanting to have degrees. So the universities open up the space for access. But not only stop there, the technical vocational education and policy also, you get a technical vocational education policy, where for ensure, say, we get government technical institutes activate them in day, but they were not functional. SLPP come under President Bio, all the 16 districts they will move for letting get technical institutes. Currently, 10 technical institutes and then 9 districts. There are 7 more we get for CAM for ensure say all the districts them get, and we don't get funding for all of that. For ensure say we use them able for develop skills and capability, employability skills, not that, and for this also President will be able to get about $20 million grants from the World Bank for ensure say we train with young people. And over time, over 21,000 young people they don't be trained, almost 50% of women, then persons with disabilities. So we already they see people that they get into jobs, that they employ themselves. We talk about apprenticeship policies. So these are very hands-on policies. We talk about industrial placements. So that's in brief the mandate of the ministry and waiting at the policy trajectory so far.
Okay. Sergio, well, thank you. This thing where you don't talk, you don't hint on very important issues then. I want to we drill down a little bit on them. You mentioned the establishment of various universities following the reform of the Universities Act of 2005, where the previous SLPP government may enact. So our daily, our company owner, our company His Excellency, we go do the turning of the sword for the Cornell University. At that time, I've been talking a grave historical injustice for let Cornell would only produce what they call a bread basket of the country from the 1930s. They keep other people them wealthy, they keep the economy running. Now only now then the members say let them support them for getting university. No other person pass it. So talk to we about even another ceremony day. What was it like?
I mean, the community so appreciate this effort because it's not the first time that they've been promised. But noting that we get a president when I talk and do, and we're very intentional, in fulfilling a vision, and make a promise. In fact, with this project, government been get for pre-finance them. The buildings them already don't come up. The buildings that don't come up, whilst we they wait the funding from Exim Bank, right? The courses have been developed and the course then for start very soon for ensure say students in Kono begin for access, the courses then the Kono people then were so appreciative when we been go there for go on the sword, Nagbense, to the point that in fact the people then voluntarily provide over 400 acres of land for free and give government, you know. And then note say, this is the first time that see say, it's not just about exploiting their land, but now it's trying to harness the human capacity where they on the ground for let them begin and go get access to education, you know. So this is the
Yes.
very first time. Phenomenal.
Okay, this one a really great one, because Kono, from who they grow up, all the man who they go school with, now Kono in the commode, the man and where they shake around, but they're not ever able to get to university. So this is really a great kudos to President Bill and one leadership in the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. More grace to your elbows. So you don't talk about technical vocational institutes in 9 districts and 7 more to come. So Fambulen, currently we get a huge, we get a youth board. We now quite a serious challenge for them country also. So how these technical vocational institutes and get for support addressing the youth unemployment, bridge the skills gap, and contribute to national security and national development. How this happen? Why must we celebrate this?
I mean, it's interesting because when you see when we get the funding, the government of Australia get the funding for fund the skills development fund. You look at trying to develop capacity around agro processing, construction, mining engineering, fisheries, right? And you support not only the government technical institutes, but even the private sector. So the space that we are now with this training is trying to align the training, the skills, and this trying to understand also the skills requirement of industries. Why we're talking about apprenticeship, industrialization, and for letting young people they have forget a startup. So they by adding these skills, they're able to become employers themselves and employ others. So we don't see a huge interest in this, and this is why we're taking interest for ensure say this is popularized. I mean, another one also like UNIDO, take like automobile. We get plenty mechanic them, we get plenty garage them. But then Biogo Japan is secure funding for automobile. We try for talk about recognition also of prior learning. What in recognition of prior learning mean is that there are some people who had gone to school, they don't learn skills them, but they don't get certificates. They don't go through the normal, but they get the capability. So we they recognize their skill, prior learning so that they go able for advance into these technical universities them or into the GTI so that they will get the skills and get certified so that their skills then will be used at every level and then go benefit from them directly. So this is the change, this is the game changer that we are beginning to see in Sierra Leone.
Yes. Okay, Sergio, thank you, thank you. Let's share some quick experience. I'm a local champion. I don't there around for a while. So I've been working at one of the mining companies. Well, I'm in the interest of full disclosure, African Minerals. And so they recruit people then, they try for hire drivers there for articulated vehicles, various kinds of vehicles there, including, then dredge and all of that. So they give test. So there were people there, For the most part, that experience has not been great at all. Most of them not be able to rise to the challenge. So what's the main for happen in the end? They actually want to bring drivers then from Ghana. Maybe I mean I've been the HR person at the mine day. We lead exploration to mining. I've been based in a friend where. So, there was a lot of maybe I think I've been very opposed to, I've been very resistant. But so maybe boss they talk. He said, look, listen. He said, but look, all of these guys come here. They say they work for Bumbuna. They have worked 30 years. He said, but that is why Bumbuna took so long to come on stream. He said, because look at the experience. So man, as a Simon to they enter inside. Now start in the start. No pre-start check. The basic thing that we for do. So I think so on a hard day at the right place. these technical vocational skills they are on our young people then get. Because if we're not getting skills, then they lack will get opportunities. This government don't do very well. A lot of mining companies in the car, a lot of construction they go on. But if we not get the skilled manpower, the middle level manpower, we will always end up for the bring expatriates then fly them in with resultant capital flights and all of that. So I think so on a hard day in the right place. So Sergeant, um, you don't mention say we not been on the give the skills development fund that support we get from the World Bank. I know say Boku private and government technical institutions and benefit from that. Una the tracker, the beneficiaries there, how are they doing? Una the tracker there? Because the
I mean,
ultimate
it's interesting. You have what they call, I mean, as part of this project, you get a tracer on the job tracer. So a lot of them people here don't go, they don't get jobs, they don't create jobs for themselves, because part of it is having on the job training, right? So you
yeah,
not just they train them and you left them, but you
yeah,
dey track them and foresee how many of them they go into training. Because remember also, we get the National Council for Technical and Vocational Awards. So they
yes,
take tests, right, to
yes,
test and technical capabilities. So all of these have been put into place to ensure that, it's not just training, it's not just the output, but it's ensuring that these people go directly into jobs. So, I mean, it's been very interesting when you see some of the products them wey dem don dey produce,
wow,
say be it construction. You get some ladies them, for example, na the Government Technical Institute, Kenema. They
mm,
dey into solar. They fix a whole solar panel,
wow,
electrical. This is pretty hands-on, you know. You talk into finished products when it comes to carpentry, you know. You see very fine products, so they really don't begin to get the hang of it that, I mean, this is the way to go. You go growth center
mm,
Napujong,
mm,
for example.
mm,
You see the way they don't begin produce gary, for example, or
yeah,
when it comes to tailoring, the value chain, the way they are doing their packaging, like
mm,
the last time during education week, you'll be amazed the kind of products that we did. For example, because of like Eastern Technical Institute University, their base was Government Technical Institute and Bunibu
mhm.
teachers. Then come with like a sofa where it get music cassettes, it get like Bluetooth, you
Wow.
know. So that's the sort of technology that we're beginning to see, you know. It's just a space, but prior to now, I mean, we inherit empty buildings, unfinished buildings, when we take over power,
Yeah.
But with this fund, it'll be able to activate the whole process in terms of training instructors, getting them moving. The hospitality management sector is also growing. Most of the restaurants, the hotels, the way they go, you see the sense of customer service, the customer orientation, the way they do things. So, I mean, it's early days, but so soon, within 4 years, we're beginning to see the changes because human capital development is the way to go, which is
Mm.
why, I mean, we're deliberate about the SDG 4, which is about accessible education and lifelong learning opportunities. So it's not just learning, but that these are lifelong learning opportunities, but where you're able to realize income from them also and empower yourself. Every side, where would they go? They want GTI. People they want get a tech voc center, you know.
Okay, Mr. Minister, you don't talk about the reforms at the university. If I for drill a little bit down in them, His Excellency may make a manifesto commitment, say it go depoliticize the university, just like what you mentioned. So it may not step away from the chancellorship in the new act. So how has it been like? Because the ultimate objective was let the university able recruit in leadership, just like what you say, people that all get the right pedigree, people that all get we get skills in research, we able attract funding. So how has that experiment gone so far?
I mean, we've seen the universities really stepping up fully to their mandate, which is around education, research, community service, examining, right? I mean, I can tell with the new chancellors, you see all the universities that don't begin talk for example, but endowment fund, and for expand on their research portfolio. You know, the recent graduations that we don't get over time. I mean, the course envelope is growing. For example, take commerce has been around from 1988 and it can only produce about 50 doctors, you know, whereby we need about 500 doctors annually for able to serve with health needs. Jala has opened up the space. Come September, then get for open a school of medicine in Jala, you know, and veterinary also, sciences get for open in Jala, you know. So they don't go like it's a re-engineering of the university space for look like that. It's not about doing any kind of course, but it's doing courses that would match up with the 21st century in the fourth industrial revolution. So this is where we are hands-on, opening up the digital space, opening up courses that would serve national development needs, but also that would be globally competitive. So that's President Bill's vision. So when you see now President Bill, this is about transformation, or if you would like, call it revolution. That's why you see today, President Bill is co-chairing the SDG 4 as a co-chair with the United Nations Secretary General. From the pre-summit to the Transforming Education Summit in New York, President Bill is the one that is taking the lead because of these bold steps where President Bill take in addition to the investment of 22% of the national budget into education. You know, because we have taken a bold step for investing in education, for liberalize the education landscape, you know, at higher level, at technical level. Also providing education finance. We also introduced the student loan scheme. This not like you go say now a bonus President Bill give because it wasn't in the manifesto, but it's a bonus. They say, you know, the granting aid will not suffice, but education is an equalizer, and there have been people who could not advance to university education or technical education until they get a student's loan scheme. So now finance is open up to people, and that finance is not just only tuition that will provide. It will ensure that you have access to textbooks, you have access to all the resources that you need, all your education expenses. Prior to now, I mean, where SAPP been there, which they get SLG safe. It was a composite, cover your admission. But all that they don't go away because we'll not be there in power. So the student loan scheme don't come for filling that gap. And we get with CEO here, we will get for speak to that.
Okay,
But
so
just before we get into that, even with the limited granting aid what we get, because we need for empower women. For example, the granting aid they ensure say all girl picking them, woman them, where they go into university, they get that granting aid for science, technology, engineering, agriculture, and mathematics options in the college. With the FQSC and the growing pass rate, we don't see a lot of women, so they have access to that. Last year alone, if I can just give you a synopsis.
Yeah, please do some small statistics.
In 2020-2021, we offer 2,700 grants in aid across the country. And unlike before, when this was just done at Freetown level, we decentralized it to all the districts. So every side gets a own share of that grant in aid day under President Bill.
You want to do a quick idea of that kind of thing, because so everybody go know say once the president build the shape, all man they get a fair share, you know, and you raise very important issues there.
Certainly, I mean, when you talk about the grants in aids,
I understand teachers they will be non serve for a couple for X number of years there, then say the independence and they get, you know, people then at the army, then get them. So I want to let you take you through that one.
The special categories
yeah.
of the grants. For example, teachers that we don't teach. This was a manifesto commitment. Teachers that we don't teach up to 10 years, then picking them. Now automatic grants in aid, and the ministry
with the university, right?
Yes.
Within a recognized public universities.
Yes, for this year alone, for example, the grants in aids the whole award. The support to students the way they offer agriculture, course options, we get about 264. Support to the students the way they offer education options then, because we need teachers then for support the free quality school education. We get about 570. To the students the way they offer engineering option, we get about 198.
Okay.
Then support to students that will offer other health-related courses. You dey talk here about med lab,
Mm-hmm.
general medicine, nursing, nutrition, pharmacy, public health. We get about 1,012.
Mm-hmm.
Support to students offering technology courses, we get about 195. Support
Mm-hmm.
to the humanity options, law, gender, economics, business admin, political science, applied accounting, 1,429. Support
Okay.
to for upgrade medical practitioners, about 32. Then support for lecturers, then because we need for upgrade lecturers, then. For let a college be fit for purpose, you need for get lecturers that will get PhDs. So we allocate like 50. And this 50 was approved by cabinet for ensure say then lecturers then can study. Now, any African university of their choice and government will fund them all, fund them programs them at the university. It will interest you for note that when we do a needs assessment through the National Education Commission, all universities lecturers them, the one them we get PhDs was barely about 16%.
Of the whole universities put together?
All the universities put together, only about 16% PhDs now they will get. This is
Wow,
a
that's
disservice where
impressive.
the past system be done to do to the country. Masters, 62%. So you had a system where you get masters person, masters lecturer, the lecture masters person, or the supervising project, or a PhD person. That's unacceptable. You need for graduate people them into professorships. You need for graduate people them into PhD, so that they're able for deliver courses them and produce the products we could drive national development. So these are, areas of advancement where this government don't bring into force for ensure the education space that will regain the lost glory or even transcend them. Digital learning and another thing we would try
Well,
we don't
I'll
begin.
let you hold that at that point, Sergio. We'll come back to you.
Okay.
I don't see the flow. We will allow you for Paul. I want for council with viewers there or listeners there and encourage them for continuing for share the link. I mean, really, 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 this is now, a fact-filled conversation today. The minister don't roll out a lot of figures there, a lot of facts there, a lot of things there. So let we give a break, small bit. Let's take a water break. Now we can focus more bits on the student loan scheme now with the CEO, Mr. Paul Amara, joined with today. Okay. Bokari comment to says Sergio Aziz Kamara is the right man for delivering the deliverables under the visionary leadership of President Bill for the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education. That's Bokari Kone Ture. Michael Coker. Why is it taking so long to finalize the Cornell University funding? Okay, you have an opportunity. Ali Moore say, with the technical education, what are the facilities that will enable students to learn their desired practical skills that are needed for the outside world? Too many of my countrymen and women want to be lawyers, doctors, bankers, etc. Do we have facilities that drive technical and employability skills rather than white collar jobs? Thank you, Alim. You have been a regular and permanent feature of this program. We value your contribution. Yeah. Okay. So, okay, Alim, thank you very much. So, I want to let we, okay. Okay, so Bokar comment to say we are proud as nationals that we have a president that is key about developing the skills of our youth, thus making them employable to match international standards. With the experience and expertise of the People's Minister, Honorable Sergio Aziz Kamara, that ministry will develop policies that will cater for the needs of the youth. He knows the issues, thus he can advise President on same. Thank you, President Bill, for empowering the youth with skills. Okay, so while we encourage with viewers or listeners then for ask the questions then for making them comments then on the platform, I want to spend some moments with the CEO of the student loan scheme. So Paul Idea, I want to welcome you. I mean, this is not your first appearance on this program.
Thank
So
you very much.
yeah, thank you. Welcome. We don't listen to Sergio Aziz. They don't make very salient points then around government in launch of the students' loan scheme. Give us some small context. How did we come about this? And where are we now? Give some small context. Well, if I'm
Well,
going
I want for again say a very big thank you to Honorable Minister. I want for wish we Muslim brethren a very good Ramadan season. The Deputy Minister don't lay out the foundation and the transformational education strategy where the president of this country embark upon, only stop at the basic level. In fact, in look at them from a root point, which means let we actually go to the core of the issue. And the minister will explain how that happened, because the basic quality, the basic free quality education, nine are the roots. And once that has been addressed, the inflow of the people that already come out of the system now, the high pass rates, the high enrollment rates of students into the university and the college systems, as well as the TVET sector, where the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education provide for those who cannot make it to those colleges. All of these nine, the president look at say, if these get for calm, how are we going to finance them? Because the SLG is not sustainable. It is there, but we can still make them more effective, just like what the deputy minister say. We relegate them to the STEAM sector, the other categories of people, them students, them first responders, teachers, then kind of thing. But the issue is that for law to finance them, because the SLG cannot be sustainable, we need to find a way to absorb them financially. So the loan scheme came as an initiative, and the government, through the Ministry of Technical and Higher Education, we come together and we did our very first analysis survey. We went out perception survey. We talked to the people of all all the regions of this country. We went to the west, we went to the east, we went to the south, we went to the north, and we had all these discussions with them. We look at key thematic areas where we let people then one for understand if their appreciation of the loan scheme. Do they understand what the loan scheme is? What would they be looking at? What is an eligibility requirements? Would I a guarantor? What it will be a guarantor? What it will constitute a guarantor? What an interest rate? We look at all these thematic areas and we form them into a whole survey. And we trained our enumerators and the ministry, and then that will be a committee now with the ministry we don't put together. And that is when I begin work with the committee, and we went out, we did the surveys, and we found out say 85% plus Sierra Leoneans understand the loan scheme, they appreciate it, they want it. I remember I will go Pujang, one area in Pujang, they talk to one of the region chiefs. Now he say, Mr. Amarami, if even just tuition, he said, we know say yes, the scheme they come, it will take care of tuition, it will take care of books, textbooks, other field practical instruments all are going to need. He said, but if only we can have loan for that we take for not just tuition. He said, our children are prepared to eat gari and waka go and do everything for make them get their higher education. He says, Sierra Leoneans, we are very resilient for that. So the idea is that people that understand them, they appreciate them, and we discuss that with key stakeholders, with university administrators, with the Chamber of Commerce, the banks. We invited them all to the Ministry of Finance, because we get these critical partners where they all work together at that time. And I really want for commend the efforts of the then minister Wibi Dede, and then the deputy minister who is now the current minister for lands, Dr. Turat Senesi. But we were able to put that concept note together, and then when Professor Alfawuri came now with his own team, with Sergio and others, we took it, just run away with them. We took it to Parliament, and the parliamentary committees then debate them. We had already engaged opposition leaders in this country. We engaged the opposition leaders of the APC, of the NGC, key political leaders, players around. We even contacted you, Honorable Minister of Information. We went around and consulted all these people. We discussed with them the thematic areas. When we went to Parliament, it was one of the, I don't know if there's many other unanimous votes on a bill in Parliament, but the students' loan scheme was one. Even all the parties were in support of it, because now education, it cuts across sectors, it cuts across people, it cuts across tribe. It is not about green, yellow, red. It was approved in Parliament, it became an act, and now the time came to operationalize. So the CEO appointed through the ministry. Yes,
for that
we
because
come
radio
now.
stations also
Yeah.
they carry this.
But let me start
now.
So, which one, sir?
Operationalize. Time don't reach for operationalize. What's in
Yes. Time don't reach now for let we start, which means government say I dey give una money for make una go now and tell people and say the loan scheme they may they apply for loan. We don't
Okay.
give una money. So we had that approval. Yes, we had that approval convening the minister's approval of funds where government don't allocate or it don't give it don't approve for make we get. And based on we projections, we had those numbers and we had the approval. We advertised through major newspapers in this
Una don't
country.
advertise?
Yes, sir. We advertised. The advertisement um, expended on the 15th, and we don't extend that to the 30th of this month because we find out say the number of pins we they get from Sierra Leone Commercial Bank, where the report say when I don't get this number of pins, so people they don't take for make them apply versus the number of applications then where would they get because a digital application we do. You apply online because not let anybody come na office. We want minimize human interaction with the foster corruption. So it took a lot of challenges and everything, but we are able to do it. So we the students that they apply online, they can go on the website, they get all the information there, sloan-sl.org. Now website dandy, SLOAN, that's sloan-sl.org. When you go to the Ministry of Technical and Education the website, also it is there. They can apply. And as of today, we have that applicant analysis. So we don't operation, we don't start. We don't begin dish out applications.
Paul, first, I want to tell you, what's not the eligibility criteria for family? We go either go share this news with them family, with members of them family who not go down see it. You know, just by way of information. What's not the eligibility criteria? Which thing them person need forget, which qualification for like apply for this loan scheme?
Well, the key eligibility criteria, number one, you for be a Sierra Leonean. You for be a Sierra Leonean, and which means we therefore ask for your birth certificate, your national identity, the NIN number. We therefore ask you for your copy of your national ID number and all those things. So you for be a Sierra Leonean. Number two, you for the pursue a program for accredited by the Tertiary Education Commission. So which means we get for
So if it
make sure say we get
if it dominion
not to know any dominion here, dominion business or AGU business. Not to that day. We get for make sure say you are accredited by the Tertiary Education Commission. And if you don't get an acceptance letter stating that you've been accepted to pursue some form of degree or some form of postgraduate diploma or master's or PhD to an institution.
Paul,
this is very critical. This is very critical. This one, they can go to the website, but this one is very critical. They have to, you can go to the website. The application guidelines are there. And we urge people then, when you go on the website, we urge them, please read the application guidelines before you fill out the form. Because the guidelines, they tell you exactly what you for do. You take your time for make you apply. From the 1st of this month to the, I think from the 3rd of this month to the 15th, which was last week, we opened the application. We find out that a lot of people don't apply. There is a small gap because we don't find out say the number of pins we get tally with the number of applications we get, which is just by the measure of the total is very small because about 91 of those applications. So I say, well, may we extend that to the end of the month because there were some glitches when the traffic was very high. Now, like then 2 days there and last week, now find out say people that they apply now like in 10s, in 20s. But like the previous 2 weeks, once we opened, the first week was very slow, but then midweek it was like in 50s, in 100s. So people there were traffic because it's not the first time, and because now online there was traffic and there were glitches. But we made sure our customer service center was open. We have a very wonderful team at the secretariat. We all work together, listening to the concerns. We made sure that very few people came to the center physically. Nobody had to come. You can be in anywhere in this country, as long as you have access to an internet or internet cafe, you can go and apply. We even deployed internet cafes who worked with us for just minimal charges for assist people then for apply for the loan scheme. So that was done in very transparent manner, and we have those applications in. We don't extend them to the 30th, so people can apply. But I can assure you that I will give the applicant analysis
Yes,
when that is required.
we need to forget that one at some point. We will need to forget that one at some point. I want to ask, Paul.
Yes.
I mean, a possible, possible to listen to we. Lot excite and ballet go now on our website now. This now for undergraduate, postgraduate, would part of the eligibility criteria,
The pilot is for we kind of pilot. When the government don't give it for me, we already proposed that to the
What in a
minister.
pilot? When they bring plane
No, not to bring plane. Pilot means that like you
Okay.
dey try something. One of the
Okay,
things
that's
about
fine.
any project wey they do, wey they employ,
Or
especially in
technologies.
national nature, you need for testing. So this is not like a test. So government say, okay, when I get this wire, when I test them. So that test, so they test them. Now postgraduate will they go for postgraduate masters and postgraduate PhD and postgraduate diplomas. And we will also make sure say then they work. Therefore, be fully employed and they are earning so that the one test also the recovery, because this is not a scholarship, not a free money. These are the challenge with the SFG. Higher education, it's very expensive. It cannot be free, and we don't make the free basic quality for the kids. Now that they are going to college, they have to find a way to be responsible for their own education. Countries that they do now Africa, that they do now Western world, in the United States, in countries that we get money, now that they do, you have to go and take loan. If the president feel like one day he say they waive off the bad debts, like what President Biden want to do for the United States, that is fine. We don't reach that point. But the president of this nation has said we need to do the same thing. Even as I speak, Ghana, Malawi, Tanzania, these were the countries that we are told by a team that was put together when government decided to put this together, Ministry of Technical Education and Ministry of Finance and NACIT and NCRA, the National Civil Registration Authority. All of these key partners came together, the National Youth Service, Ministry of Labor. They formed a team that went to do a study tour to these countries. As I speak, we don't get invitation right now, or we don't get a proposed invitation from the Ghana Student Loan Scheme that they go on for come, work with you and help you for that build up. That's an email that I've just received, because we don't get ongoing talks with these people, because we need to study their systems so that it not go fail, it not go become something where we will just come do. We will look at our own system, but we will look at existing systems. And the Ghana system has been very successful. They have received several operational tours from countries like Tanzania, from Kenya. They have gone there. Ghana is part of the Association of African Higher Education Financing Agencies, AHIFA, and we need to be a part of AHIFA so that we will benefit from bilateral and national and African alliances in the form of higher education. So the student loan scheme is here for make we produce financing. So what we begin with the masters and the PhD and where they work, so that we will see how recovery they did. We will see, and the plan is we get a proposed salary bracket for repayment. We don't prepare right now. We therefore present them to the board for let the board look at them for more approve. So that way they between a salary from 600 when the minimum wage. Yes, to about 100 or 6 to 100 million. We get the brackets then 600 to 600 to 1,500, 1,500 to 3,000. Where the earning, they come up to 15,000 to 20,000, 30,000 to 40,000, 30 to 61,000 to 100,000, and we suggest the brackets then. And we then, based on we interactions with many applicants, we don't get assurances from people where they say, but if I can have a loan, money for go pay for masters, 25 million, or PhD, 50 something million. I get that bulk money when they go to the university. I don't get that blow. Nobody don't ever pull me in a class because they say I not pay, or SAG they not pay it. If I get that money, I'm ready for pay at least 1 million or 5 million or something. People are ready to do that. They wait, make we process these applications, make we verify them, we send them down to an independent body where God forbid the loan verification committee. It comprises of we don't inside the act it already there, so God forbid begin write letters to them for the formation of that committee, comprising of CSOs, comprising of interreligious council. All of this work we did, we have the foundation already. We issue letters and therefore verify the applications, and we send them to the board. The board approve, you receive your loan, it go to the banks. It goes to commercial.
All this is very exciting. The way we the talk, you and Sergio don't talk. This look very exciting times for be Israel and particularly for the pursue higher education in this country. I see several pathways for funding. This one, I think, say na so there overseas countries and said they then give loan where you pay small. You know, I know we go school and college with some really smart guys there. Well, we said from who left school, who left college in 1994, you know, until 12, 13 years later, we by some opportunity come away. We're not able for fund higher education back then. So this generation quite lucky. Paul, you and I were already on the program today. We're not been getting opportunities there. So this is about the best time for being Sierra Leonean and for the pursue higher education. Let's talk about interest rate. This thing gets any interest rate?
Yes, there is a minimum interest.
Yeah, talk to us about that.
Interest rate, based on the survey, the interest rate, as I said, was one of the thematic areas. And we look at the economic conditions of Sierra Leone. We work with Ministry of Finance, we then look at the market conditions, then do the projections, then based on the income earning capacity, the inflation rate. There are so many analyses that was done, and we comfortably arrived between 2% and 4%. So we decided to say, well, okay, if this is, yes, just 2% and 4%. Because when you look at the economy, when you look at the economic condition, the people's earning in this country are, there is a challenge. The inflation rate is there. The economy is very strained. But we just have a bold president who believes that we can do this. So he said, let's think outside the box. Let's do it, but let's do it with an interest rate that people can accommodate, that cannot burst. It doesn't have to burst.
Wow. Paul, this one really, really, really interesting.
Yes. So we arrived at 2% interest.
That country I don't tour. Anyone they will get a smaller interest rate than we, because this looks like almost a giveaway.
No. I can assure you, and one of the reasons is not because their interest rates are not necessarily based on economic conditions. It is because they have been in the game long before us. The historical injustice where they talk about, all they talk about, where the president talk about, now it don't lead to some of these issues in this country. There has been a historical injustice towards education, funding. In fact, the education itself was before we go to funding. So this president come now for a lot of correct the historical injustice. These countries have gone ahead of us long time. Ghana don't do it long. They tried, they failed, but they did it again, and they've been around for a very long time. Tanzania has been doing it. Ghana is the only country in West Africa that is part of AIFA. That's why Ghana, when we contacted them, the CEO tell me say he's happy to bring Sierra Leone on board AIFA because he's the only country in West Africa, and they benefit a lot because there is support in margin loan schemes. So when this is what they do, so the president now a visionary, and a team where he gets now the Ministry of Technical Higher Education, you find out say the education system, the transformation education system, it's like a chain walk from basic. Remove all these trains from them, make it free, and then what happened? The enrollment increased, the pass rate increased. Now that they are coming, let's take this bold step and begin to issue loans. Let people come and take money. So this recovery, what do they do when you apply? The one them where they come, the first one that they deal with. The reason why would they say for make them go pay back is because we want to test the recovery. And if you dey work, we dey able for make you pay, and that money they recoup. That money they sit down at bank, and then sit down at the intermediary bank who they work with. That money will they put on straight. Let it be a revolving account. Let it cover another student waiting on the waiting list. It go because one prove the test, so that we go prove say yes, this thing can work. That people can actually pay back, and with time. In fact, because of the pilot term, we know the necessarily benefit, because when the interest rates you dey do them within a very short time. You know, like when you go to the bank, they always prefer for me to take long for pay, because when you pay fast, you really cheat them. The interest rate they make much. So the goal of this plan now for make we get the money, the recovery, let begin come, so that we will begin cover students then. But as we begin go, the interest rate will begin revisit them. Say now that we don't strengthen, we don't strong, and more funds they come, and people they don't see them, and we begin extend to like books now, to like materials, to like other things and what you go need, to even possibly checking out international students. That's students
Paul,
let
me disrupt you and recognize Kalilu Fofana. Kalilu Fofana says this is a great initiative. Radio Mali in Pujon District linked and is airing live, amongst others. Just so that you know, like I mentioned, you know, Kalilu is a veteran journalist. He is a Sierra Leonean at heart, true and true and true. George Orwell, try and come to your senses. You seem to be very frustrated with the current developments in Sierra Leone under this new direction. It is that George Orwell should try to come to terms. You know, this is a great initiative. Yes, Ali Mori says, great initiative with these grants and aid. It's about time we take care of our students that are doing causes that will better our country. Thanks, Ali. Yes, that can only happen under a new direction administration. So Hall says, I'm a beneficiary of the teachers' grant and aid for university students. Thank you, President Bill, for helping the helpless and making education accessible to all. Sergio is the right deal. Okay. Albaziza said the only thing left for the government is strengthening some laws like the immigration. You know, so there are a lot of very, very interesting comments coming. Albaziza says the only thing left for government is strengthening some laws like the immigration laws, employment laws, and regulations. Meanwhile, the electricity supply is also a big challenge within the municipality of Rita. Most localities are faced with low voltage. My community is not an exception. Albert will understand that. But let me also add that a lot of legal and regulatory reforms are ongoing in the labor ministry, right? In fact, it's been recorded by Parliament that under Kototimbo, you have had more legal and regulatory reforms than any other minister in recent times. Comhal says the analysis of Sergio Aziz Kamara is making me love President Bill more. He knows the issues very well. So somebody they asked Paul, say this student loan scheme now for marginalized, they support unemployed youth. So they are concerned. So that way they undermine access and what have you. I want like comment. Ali Tokoasi, thank you, Minister. You are live at Fountain of Peace Radio Network, Moyamba District. Thank you very much, Ali. God bless you. We appreciate it. So, gentlemen, you have a big platform. Mohamed Barry, Minister, the student loan is only for those that are working or for everyone? That's a question. So, student loan, you have quite a mouthful. I want to encourage we listeners, we viewers, who know the following for ask questions, then for make comments, then for share the link, so that we will get this as a truly enlightening, insightful conversation. So, yes, a few questions don't come for you. You can just take a bite and then go on. Paul.
Yes. Okay. Thank you very much. On the question of whether the student loan scheme is not supporting unemployed youths or something like that, and then there was something about whether the student loan scheme just they come for or in order for cover, students and way not to postgraduates. No, the student loan scheme, like I said, a test. This test when at 2022-2023 academic year. Now make will not start at very early, sir, because we took time to make our case. The minister had to take it to cabinet. We got for Karambo for them get cabinet approval, for them get funds, and because of that, now self with the can. So it is not necessarily just limited to postgraduates. It's because it is a test, and not only that for the programs, also one test recovery. We also want for test how the operations itself will make demands, which means that we therefore need a very strong ICT platform for manage the loan scheme. And when you start something on that kind, because the student loan scheme is 100% ICT functionality, now they work on. All the studies all don't make the institutions them where we don't look at, or don't study. That is why we are very excited that Ghana is coming to our aid, because they are not waiting for us to go. They say we are coming, because the ICT functionality, the platform where the student loan scheme need for maybe successful, very sophisticated. And you cannot test that with all the students in this country, where they do undergrads, where they do postgraduate, where they the TVETs. The system will crash. The tendency is that it will fail. The mistakes will be too much. You will lose public trust. People that go talk say again the same people. They say, "Oh, na do am, na cover it." Na the same one will say, "Oh, why they not wait for us? They test and this way." We don't find out in the Ghanaian system a lot of things the way they test in many other African developing countries. Imagine economies that they always test. So this test will the test now for that. Once we go to the next academic year, in fact, based on the funds what they get, because the applications or the process right now, once we finish the end of this month, right now I can still give you the analysis. We don't get just in sum, we don't get a grand total of 361 applications now don't receive so far. Of that 361 applications, Commerce applied 2. Now 2 we get from Commerce. We get 22 from Anes Bakroma University. We get 2 from Eastern Technical University. We get 49 from FBC. We get 67 from IPAM. Jala carried the highest, 216. And you can see even we do analysis by gender. Of that total, the way apply, if I now say for the gender, 361 total applications who don't receive. We get 281 male applicants and 80 female applicants. We do analysis by program also. The applications that we'll get for the total applications again, we get 361. The number of PhDs now 16, and the number of masters now 341. And we get also the analysis by status. The one that they keep in view right now, we probably with loan administration officers that don't pick up some issues there about the forms and things like that. We have 8 of them. We have 93 pending. We rejected 2. And we system they allow when you reject them, we come to me and they inquire from the loan director of loan operations, because we don't tell them say as applications they come when I begin process, we don't have to wait until by the end of the month. So I get the ability for see why this person have been rejected and they inquire, and why I look at now undergraduates, now 2 people that we apply undergraduates, and we don't specify them in the guidelines. We don't announce them before. They're all over the place that are only postgraduate for apply. So we reject 2 because they are undergraduates. And we have verified 258 of them. And the applicant per college, again, like I mentioned, Commerce is 2, EBK 22, Eastern University is 2, FBC 49, IPAM 67, Jala 216, Unimark is 2. We have 316 applications as of today. We still have between now and the 30th for make people then continue for apply. And we make sure say, well, they close on now the 30th, we process everything, we go through the system of verification, we send them to the board, it's approved, and the people of this country go, don't see, say, this is working. We don't test this, we don't see them. We don't test this, we don't see them. Then 2023, 2024, we can spread and now we can propose, say, let me go to undergraduate, let me take some TVET, let me take some this, because based on the money we don't get, even the processing fee, 250, people that welcome them. So that 250 day now revenue, they get, can say, let cover 1 student per the waiting, because projections that we don't make, we have to present them to the board and to the Ministry of Finance, and we sure say once they see how this don't work, there will be no hesitation for the president for say, now I've made my case, I think I need the funding that will help us move this nation. And I think that people are there, organizations are there that are ready to say, no, they've tried, they've started it with the right system. Mr. Minister, just one last thing. We were under considerable pressure for make we use paper applications, which means people therefore go and fill out the form and go drop an office or go drop at any site. We looked at it, we said, no, we are going to do digital application. One, because that is where we are going as a nation, and two, because it remove corruption, it even bring inclusion instead of exclusion. You include applicants when you do digital online application.
Definitely,
but when you make
definitely.
paper-based, you exclude applicants. So this is how far we have gone.
Thank you very much. So you don't get quite a floodgate of commendations there. Francis Nicholas Soare, who is the general manager for Nyapui Radio in Kenema, they say in radio station they take a lead for simulcast program tonight for other radio stations in Kenema. They say tonight now one of the happiest nights there. They also say, oh, Zime Radio, 40 camera says Zime Radio said they link live. So this is quite a big program. Then they listen to you now each and every corner of the country. We really, really love we had to the radio stations there. We do such commendable national service. We're grateful for this one. Francis Nicholas Soare again say, very laudable initiative by the government, a big success in the education sector. My question is, how many years students will pay for this loan? So yes, Sergio, you said they may make a few comments there around you. You want I'll come back to you. Sergio.
Let me just thank you, the CEO.
Sergio has this technical. Yes, you may note the questions and the concerns there. But just before you can, I want to commend with listeners there, with viewers there, and the radio stations and various bloggers there. With the really, really help we for broadcast. We want to commend them. I mean, we cannot thank you enough. We're really grateful for that. So we will follow, do your own, allow share the link. Lord, bring in with family, with loved ones, with friends there. I mean, this is about Sierra Leone, the very heart and soul of a country in education. So do your own, allow share, allow get a civilized conversation. Yes, Sergio, you been get a few comments and coming. You want to respond to them, even though most of them have been competitions for the leadership.
I mean, certainly, I mean, just to commend the CEO for the loan scheme, Paul Amara, because he has been right from the beginning. And just to add two few things, I mean, how determined President Bio did for ensure, say, each and every one Sierra Leonean get access to the student loan scheme. Government inject like 5.8 billion loans at the seed money at this initial stage, just for ensure, say, the student loan kickoff. But prior to now, education funding financing was just limited to the grants in aid, and the grants in aid being just exclusively limited to the public universities. So when you say public universities, you're talking here of the government universities then, we're not 6. But what the student loan scheme has done is to open up the student loan scheme to private universities. So I think that's commendable. That's opening up the space. That's choice. That is access. I think that's worthy to note. But also, I think, Mr. Minister, it could also for highlight a few things. People that can say, oh, President Bio, they travel, waiting, they bring. But I can tell you, say, just within this short space of time, through them travels them and emphasis on human capital development, just into the education sector. President Bio don't mobilize about $137.8 million towards education. That is for improved higher education, but also for improved technical education. And I will just go through some of these. For the Skills Development Fund, where they support technical vocational education and training, that's 22 million grant, not alone a grant from the World Bank, because they impress with His Excellency in emphasis for address the youth bulge we will get for let them develop skills, $22 million. The Sierra Leone education sector for expand university space, President Bio able to get $68 million from Badia and the Saudi Fund and OPEC. $68 million. That therefore ensures say Miltimaga is upgraded. Bonimbu Teachers College, where the rebel them been born, where say that bad governance was brought by this APC. That also they come back into fresh state-of-the-art university under the Eastern Technical University. So we get that. Then some schools, them also, 4 schools, them. Maboroka Boys School, now one of the beneficiaries of that. For just to tell you, say, this government, when it comes to education, is very intentional and it's not discriminating. Maboroka Boys, the Bow School, Kenema Secondary School, Government Secondary School, and the Prince of Wales, they are beneficiary schools, you know. Also, the Kono University, $32 million. Now, President Bill able to mobilize for ensure say that project they kickstart. Somebody even they say, oh, waiting they happen with the Kono University. You know, university is like building a house. You get for set up the foundation, and that foundation therefore be very strong, and that foundation is enforced. The college, you get a chancellor when I reputable somebody, former retired Justice Honorable Justice Nyao Jones, when said Matthew Jones, when I come out, the court members then they in place. The university don't get administrator, so it's building up, but it's building a very, very strong foundation. From the automotive maintenance engineering from Japan, the UNIDO project, $3.8 million. Now President Bill mobilized. Direct aid Kuwait, President Bill ensures we get $12 million from them. So this is not just for a snapshot of waiting President Bill don't bring into the education space for change this space. We see now, you know, our confidence here, I don't set the foundation. Moving forward, then I will shift now to agriculture a little bit. Then also, when we talk about technology, probably they talk about the student loan scheme, so we move away from paper-based. Now, when you apply for SLG, now online. But for apply for university, especially the public universities, in the act, we get what you call the centralized admission system. We mean say by the time you take UAS, based on the results where you get, that system able to sort you out and assign you to the university where you want to go based on the university criteria. And what we have done, we have seen that before, people they're not able to advance the university because they don't get the right criteria. Maybe they don't get English. So you get the technical universities, then with the criteria they're different, they may accommodate you into those universities. But also before, people then the way they go to diploma. Where you do diploma, even when you go, you get diploma. They come back, you can't sit worse for that you get required. But now if you do diploma, the universities they don't agree, say when you do diploma, based on your grade point, you can now enroll into a degree program without taking the WAS. You know, these are some of the transformations that we begin to see in the education landscape. So these are critical, and I wanted to highlight these, you know, for the attention of the public, that the space is open and it's open wide. Also, what we're trying to do, we don't upgrade like Freetown Teachers College and Government Technical Institute. Kisi. In 2005, SLPP under Professor Alpha Tijanuri, the Doyen of Education, he introduced the polytechnics at 2005. APC come, they don't make that polytechnic, Freetown Teachers College, then left a high been then left government. Now we come, we go now, we ensure say, we ensure say, we get a polytechnic, we comprise Freetown Teachers College and the Government Technical Institute. So these are some of the advancements then we will see in the education landscape, you know, moving forward. Then also, we ensure say community colleges, you know, like when you go to America, you get community colleges there, right? This is to reduce the access. Mr. Minister, you know, you are from Kenema, I'm from Sheguema, right? If we had ETU in those days, we had no business in Freetown to come for education and be struggling for accommodation.
And that's the only time I came to Freetown. Never been here. Right. University brought me to Freetown.
So these are the advances because it's about access, you know. So thank you.
Yes, thank you very much. Let's just ask this. Let's just make a few authorial intrusions. So I mean, that's such a great thing. You know, I remember during engagements of various universities across the country, we've been students. I mean, they ask we now then like we'll go na University of McKinney na Unimac. They say why they not get SLG. So we'll be mentioned the student loan scheme will come for be the greatest equalizer. So I'm really happy that when you go to the students and the next day we they talk, you go to really talk in typical talk and do fashion. We'll make that commitment to them. I'm happy that through your diligence together as a ministry, we're not able to make this happen. So this one not to Paul, but let it consider, you know, when I don't get in the region of 300 and something applicants for the loan scheme. So I go look for ask waiting at the maximum capacity when I get now for the pilot program. Just chew on that. And then Sergio, Farmer then go left for no. You raise very important thing there where you been the talk. You mention the surge one that get in numbers, for going to university. So how prepared una they? How prepared universities and they for provide accommodation for accommodate all them boku students there? So we they qualify, we they pass them transition exams and they for going to university. And finally, you don't lay a very important issue to rest about the president in travels. Then, Salon people then will get for begin for think big. You know, Law we where you want for assess President Bill, you for talk about the cost benefit analysis of a trip. Sergio just did that. Part of them travels and he's been able to build an airport, he's been able to do roads, he's been able to increase electricity access from 16 to something like 38 to 36%. They don't able to do all lengths in the how they talk. So what the judge people then now on on the cost benefit analysis. I think this country has gained tremendously, and that make I listen to the president who been the address during the commissioning of the new airport. He said, look, he said, now for Salon better one more go fly, say it's higher. So let's brace up for more travels, but profitable travels with Salon the benefit from. So I want to cheer on this, but as we do that, I want to encourage we viewers there, or listeners there, and the radio stations and the bloggers that will support we for carry this message for share the link so we'll get more engaging conversation. It's really been very exciting out here, and I'm very proud to be hosting two very distinguished colleagues there. Honorable Sergio Aziz Kamara and Mr. Paul Amara, the first chief executive officer of a student loan scheme since the founding of Sierra Leone in 1808. You have never had any predecessor, sir. So now you get the game. Now you man. So yes, Sergio, let's start with you. Some then comments and then issues, and then I want to let you just for family.
I mean, in terms of the surge, it has been unprecedented.
Definitely.
I mean, with the free quality school education and investment of 22% of the budget, there has been a major surge into the university space. Like last year, I mean, the recent was, we see the passes. And now just go into statistics, they just show how the quality don't improve, how students in the past. I mean, in 2018, just about the time we'll come into power, Mr. Minister and members of the public, we get like 32,232 picking them women seat the was. Okay? The one that we get 5 credits, I mean, like 5,797. Okay. The one that we get 5 plus credit or above, for including English, 4,190. But that time, in fact, the pass rate was just 13%. That's 2018. We President Bill just introduced the FQSC and offer for pay the WAS fee, right? Fast forward to 2022 today, because of this, we had 186,695 students who took the WAS exam.
From 30-something thousand.
That's about almost 58% more than, it doubled, it tripled the number, right? The one that we see that exam, we get 5 credits, you get about 113,824, right? But the one them wait for go university, we get the credits for advance to these 6 universities them, where we get. It was about 108,418.
Wow.
58% pass rate compared to 13% in 2018. This is just to give you a sense that, people that they step up, everybody want to go university. This is why we're also telling them that it's not just about the degree, shift also to the technical vocational education and training. And we begin to see that push towards that, and trying to see how the university also go be creative. So we even introduce the learning management system, so you're able to monitor these numbers. But coming to your question of how do we accommodate this? The traditional mode of education has been really around sitting in the classroom, a lecturer in front of you, we don't get that space there anymore. So the universities, they don't step up into digital learning, which is why I'm saying, like, you go to far-flung places like Pujong, Kailang, Koindu, the universities, and they begin to get campuses so that they're able to deliver online courses. Just today, we're in a meeting with the look of last mile connectivity in universities based on the funding we do attract na MIC for see how we go improve on this so that connectivity go there, so that not to everybody get for the go sit down a classroom for say learn. So the space go there. IPAM, for example, have been so creative running a 2-shift program for ensure say they accommodate the numbers. And we appreciate that universities then they step up in this creative way for accommodate the numbers. So there are efforts that are ongoing around digital learning, around opening up the space. Thank you.
So Fodi Kamara said the borderline communities of Sierra Leone, also Sierra Leoneans living in Liberia, are getting you people loud and clear this evening through Zimi Radio. Thanks so much, sir. So this is really good, gentlemen. Sandra Cowan say the students' loan scheme was enacted with a view to provide financial assistance to students of tertiary institutions in Sierra Leone, facilitating increased enrollment in higher education and promoting the right to education to all Sierra Leoneans. Oh, okay. So Sandra, I could not finish reading your message, but I mean, okay, to all Sierra Leoneans, it seeks to complement the government grants in aid. The student loan scheme would allow tertiary institutions to get their resources at the start of the academic semester, as well as trigger quality assurance in a bid to empower students. Thank you very much, Sandra, for throwing that additional light on this. Because the way you talk, says Sandra, it looks like say you did part of Mr. Amara and team, na the students loan secretariat. But that's really good. Yes. So Abraham Mohammed Sonis, they tell you plenty thank you, Sajo, for the new initiative, because this is a very big initiative which President Bio has done for we the university students. So again, another commendation. Thank you very much. Family, they encourage you now for continue for share. We'll get only 14 minutes now for roundup. So at the come back, 40 Camara say, now if you get your antenna Liberia now, they all go to call you. People they don't do a fantastic job for it and they link up all over the place. So Paul, you don't get a few inquiries don't come for the loan scheme, including waiting at the number of pilot opportunities we get, because we get 300 and something applications right now. We want for know that one day. Some people they also want for know how long person will take for pay the loan. Some people then they say the thing a great thing. Kindly review the requirements for the student loan scheme to enable unemployed and poor degree holders to access higher education. But this procedure is difficult and self-conflicting. Kindly review to underpin its success. Comhal. Yes. So Paul.
Well, yeah, I think if I can start with Comhal in concerns, because I think I don't see one or two posts of his where is the semblance is like the student loan scheme is self-conflicting, which means it is here for the privilege for the underprivileged, but it's seen for the counter based on the test. No, again, this is a test. The test you need for do the test at a scale that is manageable. Any project planning and management specialist can tell you that. And I want to inform people that in that area that is where I started. Project planning and management. You have to test you have to test the thing, and they call pilot. So not to for just postgraduate students. Because of a test, now that make we start with postgraduate, masters, and PhD. As we begin, continue, and based on the feedback we get from this, based on the support we will get for the information technology communication platform, especially because we get for integrate, we get for integrate with systems like NACIT, we get for integrate with systems like NCRA, because when somebody apply, we want in time for them to check with NCRA the person in NIN number. We not just want to depend on what the person bring. We want to be able to, by a click of a button, we able to go into NTRA portal, therefore give you that access for make we able to verify the person in NIN number, because a part of the eligibility requirement. So all these integration systems with NCRA, with immigration, if somebody run away, for instance, what do you do? Or how do you hold people's passports? You need for them to integrate with the immigration portal so that they go able to track that person. At the end of the day, what we want to put into place and what I believe the president wants us to do and what the ministry is doing is let us put a sustainable loan scheme together. Don't no rush for put something, and then when it crash, then we begin for regrets. And these things involve money. And at this stage in the economy of this country, it is taking very, very great minds and bold minds, including the president, for make we do an initiative like this because it's very expensive. Number one, the platform that we need to run a program like this is very expensive. We're going to need all the help. I'd already mentioned that Ghana is already coming to our aid. So we cannot start big. We cannot start with all of the students in this country right now. Otherwise, even the recruitment what we do now on that based on the based on the numbers what we get right now, so that we recruitment is small because payroll government they try manage them. The government is working very hard. So one let people that be patient. I'll let Mr. Comhall or whoever the individual is for no say we are going to extend to undergraduate to all the various categories where they pursue higher education because the program is for higher education. So as long as you are going you can end up for enroll at college for your masters or your PhD for your undergraduate, or you want to do a postgraduate diploma, or you want to pursue a technical vocational education and training program, a machinery has been put in place for finance that. This start will don't start now just for make we start. Eventually, it get for extend to all them people. This system, the way they start them now, they help we for make we get the foundation for be sustainable. So that with time, government can decide now, say, okay, I will start with this seed money, but based on the way that they perform, I will reduce this seed money because there are other needs there. Because you guys now they generate your own money for them to revolve for begin cover more students. So one people they be patient. Many don't say not to just for postgraduate, masters, and PhD, not to just for people that will get privilege because they work. No, some people why I tell you the income brackets. There are some people, the income brackets, we got for accommodate them. Between 600 and 1,500, we should be able to get somebody we can able to pay because a proportional representation. The lower your income, the lower your contribution in terms of recovery. The higher your income, the higher your contribution in terms of recovery. So these are the things that we are putting in place. So not necessarily for people that will just they work. Now for people that we want test them, eventually we'll go for increase that, we'll go to undergraduates. Somebody talk about how long did it take for let somebody begin pay. But for now, because we want test recovery, we want as person you they take, will they begin work with your salary, will they begin work with your employer for make we determine your salary, for make we get an authorization from the employer or for you for say, okay, let me get direct deduction into the loan scheme account. Every beneficiary get an account with the bank who they work with, so that the moment you take loan, you sign the contract, the money straight, if they begin deduct into the loan scheme account for credit to your account. That way, we they test the recovery and see how much money they bring come, how much students the more we will cover with that. All that will go for report to the minister. We will present at parliament. And this one I don't do, and this don't test, and this don't get so far. Now we need for move down to undergraduates. So that question of undergraduates, somebody say, well, what about people that where if they're not a work, where they're done? When you done, when you graduate, will they give you 2 years for make you get a job? Then a free time will they give you, blow now will they give you. But after 2 years, will they begin work with you? In fact, we not they wait for graduation. We get for do what they call this apprenticeship program. We get for look at them so that we get a whole value for service concept. What they work on right now, we'll go for present to minister for make a look at them. How people that can go volunteer or do apprenticeship or internships on site, where we can place them and let the institutions know that these are our beneficiaries. Government want for help these people, but they don't get money yet, they don't get job yet. So do you take them in with the open airport? They get for need hospitality or customer care officers or things like that. We can send with those scheme beneficiaries indeed. Hospital day. There's no reason why the hospital should not be 24 hours. Nursing students where they apply for loan scheme, or med school of medicine where they apply for loan scheme, you can go work at Connaught. That hours there, we were able to work with Ministry of Labor, where they on the board of the scheme for make we value that time. You know, just can't do apprenticeship. Let we add value to them, which means let we monetize them. That money there, we can credit them to your loan account. These are things all they think about, so that you apprenticeship, you can go work some side, that place they go might even end up for evaluate you well, and you might even end up getting a job after graduation through a loan that you
Okay.
obtain through the student.
Okay,
So this is
Paul.
how plan is.
Time they can't catch we now. I see you don't begin just warm up, warm up, warm up. Uh, so Mohammed Ahmed said this government has been very serious in human capital by focusing on TVET. However, we should create more linkages between private sector, industries, and TVET institutions. Compulsory apprenticeship programs should also be, yeah, that is noted. Apprenticeship programs should also be introduced to increase quality of TVET graduates. Kudos to Honorable Comrade Aziz and team. Yes, so Mohammed Ahmed, that is noted. Actually, said this kind of conversation came up in a cabinet a couple of days ago, where they carried the National Youth Service Scheme go. So in the former SLG, there is actually a bonding commitment there. Say as long as you don't get SLG, you do choose for work for government or then kind of thing. So we probably might start the experiment with that one day first for begin enforce that. Sergio, you been in a cabinet now. You in fact now you respond to that. Yes, so I want we somebody they ask, say, what if you not get work but you get collateral? Like somebody we employed where they say, look, I stand collateral for this candidate. So
I want
while we
for
wait
again.
for you answer that, I want for support my brother, the minister, we talk about digitalization. The Ministry of Information don't able to attract a grant of $50 million for digital transformation. Part of them funds then they will commit for support the digitalization of the universities because His Excellency has been very clear. He been share something with we see in UAE. Yeah. Now that place they then get Georgetown, then get various campuses there. So you actually the day na UAE they attend college in Georgetown at the US. You attend any kind of university in the US, then get campuses then and digital technologies that they use for do that. You don't have to physically move to the US and then they validate them in it. You get taught by some of the world's best teachers. So that is the president's vision. Or they use this digitalization support here from the World Bank or make sure say like we Sergio talk, we support them for manage them, surge there so when they get but for people then with the pass then huge transition then with the pass transitional exams there for enter university and technical vocational institutions. I'll be need for other one day. Yes. So Francis, okay. Fodi Kamara say, thank you, Fodi. Thank you very much. I don't like to Francis Suarez said this is a good boom in the education sector. Bravo to President Bill. This is a first in history. First in history indeed. This day in history. John Conte said, keep up the good work, my noble minister. Thank you, John. Yeah, so gentlemen, we are about rounding up. Time don't catch we, but I also encourage we guess we follow us then. Let them continue for share with colleagues then. We don't do it we from all begin. For continue for share, but then groups then to family, to friends, to loved ones then. And I want to appreciate the effort of the bloggers then and the radio stations then from far and wide who don't carry this program at nobody's special request. We owe you a debt of gratitude. Thank you very much. So now wrap up now, questions and final words for tonight. Sergio.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. I think for me, even working in the government is an inspiration working with a visionary leader like President Bill. And
Absolutely.
because we supervise the higher education institution, we also extend with thanks because government give relief, like a 75% increment of the salaries of the university lecturers then, but also thanking the higher education institution during these hard times from COVID to the depressing economic situation, they have kept the wheels turning for education. So they have been key stakeholders, critical stakeholders. So we commend them because we believe that the foundation has been set and we're moving and we're transforming this country. And to transform this country, I think we're moving to elections in June 24th. For the foundation that has been laid, we must consolidate it to vote a no runoff President Bill so that we don't waste a minute in driving the development agenda of this country. Thank you.
Thank you, Sergio. In fact, I just add say Abdul Parabo don't just join we. Say vote FM the carry we live. So I mean, across the country, we have been carried live. So we want to tell Abdul and colleagues that oh, we don't do this for we. It's national service. We really appreciate and let's keep up the partnership. God bless you. Yes, Paul. You say you don't comment there now.
Well, thank you very much, Honorable Minister, for this. This is a very great opportunity for do information sharing for the public, especially for the scheme. It gives us the confidence for public trust what we need. Well, I also want to really thank the leadership of the ministry and, of course, the leadership of the president, because this is a very laudable venture. It really speaks to the president's visionary mindset. And I think, like you rightly said when you started, Sierra Leoneans, and I echoed these same sentiments when we did the international education thing. I was speaking to students, I told them that they are very lucky to be alive at this time. And Sierra Leoneans, we are very lucky that we get the opportunities there for make the president think about them. We don't do them, we don't start them, and the commitment we government don't show by committing funds to this. And I want to assure everybody that we have just started. We want to succeed, let make a good impact so that the president and the country will get confidence. We want people to understand what they happen. Always, please feel free, go to our website, sloan-sl.org, sloan-sl.org. All questions about eligibility, criteria, whether you for get a collateral, whether a guarantor, all we put them now the application guidelines. We customer care, we answer questions, we do everything for be as transparent as possible for the information we need. So please now go to the website and one for let people then really get the public trust. We want to get that public trust and let them believe say this is something that the president believes in. We believe in them. The leadership is there. We have a very robust board of trustees led by a very, very strong female. Let you know how the president, they look at gender, a woman with a lot of experience, and they chair the board. We get a very strong board full of experienced people, and we get a very strong team at the secretariat. We get brilliant minds where they work together, and we are very independent minded, and we make sure say we just done our inception committee meeting yesterday with the IMC for anti-corruption so that we start off right. Because I want to send the message that we don't want to be part of corruption. We therefore even present to the board whether the workers of the loan scheme can be applicants, because we want for they will discuss and there be something that go remove every semblance of conflict of interest or things like that. All this now because we want for live up to the standard where the president don't set, the tone where the president don't set, and the glory will for return back. Like the deputy minister explained, we want to go back to the days where we were once Athens of West Africa, and we want to make sure so we get that glory back. Thank you very much.
Okay, Paul, thank you very much. Okay, the final one I want for read now from Idrissa Angel Conte. He said, loving this discussion. It has never been a waste of time connecting to watch this. Thank you, Mr. Minister. So, gentlemen, I mean, we viewers there, we listeners there don't appreciate this hanging out together because it's all been about Sierra Leone, moving our country forward and ensuring say it take a rightful place um, amongst the Committee of Nations, particularly when it comes to human capital development and development generally. So on that note, I want to tell you all plenty thank you. My guests there, Sergio Aziz Kamara, Paul Amara, and to Una with numerous listeners there on radio, on social media platforms, on Facebook. I want to tell you plenty thank you. It's been a really refreshing evening with you. But Lord continue for share the links there so that more and more people then go stay engaged with this process. By way of a public announcement, because of the demands of Ramadan, and we get for observe this faith. One for announce um, during Ramadan the program go shift to 10 o'clock. Now 10 we're going to bring Antona, so we'll give people the time for come on Nafila. So now always go through this. It's been really awesome. I mean, for get una thank you. So from now on till Ramadan down at 10 o'clock. Una thank you for the support. God bless you. Till then, bye.